Rematch time. AJ, Brendan, All In, Allen versus Fluffy Hernandez. Hey, another one. Let's talk about it straight off the bat because this makes me nervous. Minus 330 for Fluffy Hernandez. AJ, he won the first fight. This is true. They did fight back in like 2018. I'm going to say something like that, right? This is a stupid line. This is a silly, silly line right here based on the skill set of both of these guys, in my opinion. I love the hype on Fluffy. I love the cardio machine, but I think they're both equally good wrestlers, even though Hernandez did get the best of the scrambles in the first fight. What do you think about the line, and why is Brendan Allen discounted so much? This is a discount buy right here.
This is an absolute discount buy right here. I was thinking the same thing, Derek. Like, yeah, the fight was close. I do think the right guy won, even though Brandon Allen still has a bunch of comeback that he thinks he won that fight. Why is he discounted, though, man? I'm not really sure. I was looking at his previous fights, right? You look at Brendan Allen, the Imavov fight. He says he won that one as well. That one's a lot closer, a little bit contested. But then after that, just dub after dub after dub for his last five. And then on the other side, Fluffy Hernandez, 5-0 streak, at least in his last five. Like, this guy is very talented. I think one thing that a lot of the odds makers are looking for, Fluffy Hernandez is able to get more knockouts, right? He's more well-versed, at least in the way he's finishing people. Whereas Brandon Allen, you're getting a sub or you're losing a decision. Could be something to play into. I mean, I think Brandon Allen has some absolute pop on his shots. The one thing that does worry me is the combos and the technical fluidity that Fluffy Hernandez presents. I think he's a little bit more of a well-rounded and polished fighter.
I don't know, man. It's kind of the same on both sides because Brendan Allen versus Imavov, when he couldn't get the takedown, the fight was pretty much over. You know what I mean? Like, let's be fair and let's be honest in this critique, right? Like, striking alone for Brendan Allen, if you can't mix up the takedowns, things get a little bit funny. But the same thing for Hernandez, man. Hernandez's whole entire shtick is I'm going to put something out. I'm not going to throw hard, but I'm going to volume you up, trap you against the cage, and I'm going to shoot. And I'm going to do that, like Marab style, a million times in the fight. And you're just going to get tired, and I'm not. And Brendan Allen is kind of a similar thing. I just think that Fluffy Hernandez does have a little bit of a better gas tank right here. The interesting thing, though, is if you look at the props on this one, let me just make sure that I'm correct here. Yeah, knockout prop for Fluffy is plus 550. However, the submission prop on him is better than Brendan Allen, too. When you would think the submission prop probably should go to Brendan Allen, and the knockout prop, I can see that for Fluffy, but a cardio knockout type situation right here. If we're making money on any of these fighters and you're looking to do something aside from the money line, because you do not bet Fluffy Hernandez here at steeper than minus 300. We don't bet that. But I can definitely see that decision prop. Where are we at right here for the decision? Points, plus 105. That's the prop that I'm looking at. I'm staying away from everything else right now with the consideration of this conversation. We'll talk about what we actually think in a minute. But decisions on both sides. Who's the more value play?
Decision, more value play definitely has to go to Hernandez because I'm thinking about the gas tank right here. Brendan Allen, he doesn't look 3 rounds only. Yeah, it's only 3 rounds. I don't know, but I still think the gas tank that Fluffy Hernandez has going forward, he's able to keep the same pace the entire fight. Brendan Allen, he might get a little tired. He's slowed down just a little bit. It's not going to be this drastic drop-off he has. But I do think the quickness that Hernandez is able to put into all of his movements, that's probably going to give him a harder time. Plus 150, at least on the open for the decision odd, makes a lot of sense for Hernandez. I think that's the best way to make money for him. I mean, do you see that plus 425 knockout even happening? Did we even come close to a knockout in this fight?
Yes, absolutely. Depending, right, on the position that they find themselves in. Somebody gets a dominant top position, I can see a finish happening very easily. Brendan Allen, I can see a knockout coming from him more than I can from Fluffy, personally. But that's what's weird, man, is because Brendan Allen is a rear naked choke specialist right there. Fluffy Hernandez, he gets into that control bag too, a little bit more active. The thing that I'm a little bit more interested in, I want your answer to this one, because, again, you look at this fight, you could say it a million times, it's clone matchup right here, just slight differences between the two, and that's why I think it's closer. It's going to be closer than what the line indicates. But last time that Allen had to fight somebody who could match his skill set on the ground, not quite the same, but it was Paul Craig, and he submitted him in the 3rd round of the fight, right? Jiu-jitsu guy, not a wrestler. It's different, right? But for Fluffy Hernandez, if I'm looking in his last 5 at anybody who even comes close to what it is that he does, like his style of grappling, there's nobody there. Who can Josh Fremd? Maybe. And he did go to decision against Josh Fremd. So that's why, again, I don't like how steep this line is. I think this is a dog or pass type fight, to be completely frank with you, meaning that you bet Brendan Allen or you leave this alone. But if we have to make a real play on here, there is one spot where I think that we could make a play, and that's going to be the over and the under. 2.5. Over is minus 200. Under is plus 150, and I know you like a finish here, so let's give the final props on this one. What are you thinking?
I do like a finish here, Derek. I think you roll with the under. Under is it 2.5?
2.5, yeah.
2.5. It makes a lot of sense to me. The thing that worries me is that late round finish, right? We could see a finish come in the third, right at that like 1.5 minutes left in the fight, and you're still hitting that over mark. We've seen how the trends have been going as of late. Like Derek said, 8 out of 12 hit on the over last card. So it makes sense to me to see the over, especially with how I can see these two styles kind of negating each other. I like the under if it's a fast-paced fight and something crazy happens. But I think more often than not, that over is probably going to hit.
Yeah, I like the over on this one. That is a bet that I would take. Minus 200 for the over 2.5. But again, dog or pass type play right here. For the purpose of our head-to-head competition, I am picking Fluffy Hernandez to win. AJ, you're rolling with Brendan Allen on this one. Fair play. But that's the reality right here. Anything else on this one?
Absolutely, folks. If you're taking Brendan Allen money line all day, I agree with Derek. I can see a knockout coming from him. Don't know if a submission's going to happen right here. Don't know if a decision is either. They're at play, but I think the money line's the best odds.
This is going to be an interesting way to see how the middleweight division shakes up, because I think a win here, a dominant win on either side, can get him right back into that kind of like title territory. Fluffy Hernandez has been fighting for that. He's really more like he gets the big push with a win of Brendan Allen, and it's interesting to know that. Like I said, he already got the win previously on the regional scene.